Well, it's a difficult challenge. I think the first things I would say are that there's no single standard set of blueprints that you can implement to deliver these benefits to small-scale farmers. One thing is you need to focus on the process to make sure that there's been some kind of evaluation to understand who are the stakeholders of this technology, including the farmers who are going to use it or maybe expected to benefit from it. What are their interests? And they should be consulted and they should be involved in the process so that their interests can be taken into account, that they can speak for themselves, and that there should be some sort of an assessment, a careful assessment, or an accountable and responsible assessment of the potential risks and disadvantages as well as the potential benefits. So they should be fully involved in the process. A large-scale industrialized farmer typically runs his or her farm as a business, and they plan it in advance. They use spreadsheets, they collect data, they often sell their crop in advance, they have all of their inputs ordered months ahead of time. Small-scale farming is a much more precarious operation, and it's often done in marginal environments where the soil is not particularly fertile and where the water is unpredictable. And so small-scale farmers tend to value different kinds of things, not necessarily maximizing crop yield, for example, but a stable yield that doesn't vary too much from one season to the next, where they can have a variety of different seeds in their portfolio and a variety of different crops that serve different purposes, that could be consumed, that could be sold, that could be used for other purposes such as fodder or construction materials. And so they don't like to put all of their eggs in one basket. They need technologies and strategies that will spread risks and enable them to meet shocks and various contingencies that are intrinsically unpredictable. So to design technologies that meet those needs, it requires a different kind of strategy from research and development policies and practices in the laboratory, and it needs a different kind of extension strategy. This is becoming increasingly important, and we're seeing more and more of this South-South cooperation, and that's partly because of the rise of powers in the South, such as China, India, Brazil, South Africa. And these powers have their own resources and their own scientific capacity. They don't need to rely so much on foreign powers anymore for either funding or scientific resources. And so they have the capacity to cooperate bilaterally and multilaterally on a South-South basis on various different levels through education, training, through pooling of resources, sharing of know-how, and also, for example, germplasm, genetic material, and so on.